are now watching Smokes and Jokes.
Yo, what's up? This is the podcast. Oh, man. This is O'Henny. Right now, I am not there. No, excuse me. I'm not there. I'm here. So since I'm not there and I'm here, we might have some, technical issues, but I'm trying to get out the invite because I'm not there. I'm here. I'm in my friends. Got friends doing pole lessons over there. So right now I'm here. So I'm trying to invite both our esteemed co-host and we have our guest. Our guest is here. What's up? What's up?
What's happening?
I'm good. How you?
I'm all right. Sorry, it took me a second to get in here.
Nah, you're good, man. I wanted to remove my other page over there. Usually, this is where I usually am over here. I don't know if you've seen the show, but we're usually here. That's my usual set. The lights are off.
Okay.
I'm over here. My friends, they're doing pole lessons in there, and I've been working on some music. So now we're here today, and we're waiting for our co-host Joy. I don't know if her computer died, but this is the podcast.
Nice.
I'm casting around, man. Do you still smoke weed, or what's your deal?
I don't, but now that things have changed in New York, I may have to rethink that.
Oh yeah. No,
right?
I know. I understand the lack of legality changes a lot of things with people.
Yeah. I was thinking about you can get a license to open up a coffee shop these days. I mean, that's one of those things where it's like you're gonna make a profit day one.
Yeah, for sure. You can do a lot of consumption sites are in the works right now. Okay,
yeah.
I'm sitting on this thing right here, and it's sort of dead here, so I'm gonna put this back here. I was working on a painting. I was here working on a painting. I can't really paint, but I was working.
That's better than I can do.
Yeah. But I want to sit in this. Let's change chairs here and come talk with you.
All right.
So what's been going on, man, during the PD?
I mean, a lot of stuff's been going on. Yeah, since the pandemic started, I freelance as a cinematographer and editor, and I run a video production company. And once the lockdown happened, it's just went downhill, and I had all this free time in my hands. Like, what am I going to do? And I'm not the type to just sit around all day and just flip through the channels or sleep in. I got to keep a schedule, because once I get lazy, I stay lazy.
Yeah.
So, I did a little short web series with my family back in April of last year. And
hold on, what do you mean with your family? Hold on, let me pick up my joint. I dropped my joint. What do you mean with your family? Like with your wife and kid?
My wife and kid, yeah. We were just there wasn't anything to do, there wasn't anywhere to go, and I was like, I got to do something. So we just figured out this little story about an 8-year-old who narrates her life being in quarantine, but it's very precocious. She kind of talks she does the dialogue in a film noir thing. So I recorded her doing voiceover of stuff that I wrote, and then we just shot stuff to kind of match that. And we just kind of had a good time. We did 4 of them, and that kept me busy. That kept everyone else busy when there was nothing else to do. So we did that. And then after that, I kind of dusted off another project that I had from many years ago. That was a friend of mine. She wrote these short stories about her abysmal dating life and sent them to me.
Was that Brittany Brave?
That's the one. Yeah. So
have you been friends with Brittany Brave for a long time?
I've known her for a couple of years. I actually got hired to do the cinematography and editing on this cooking show, and she was a guest, and that's how I met her.
That's
And
crazy. Hold on for a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Angie, what kind of weed is this?
I don't know. I just get it from my guy.
Okay. All right, no, it's all good. No, because usually we do a segment called "What Are You Smoking?"
Yeah.
And because so I usually know what I'm smoking, and I have a talk about what I'm smoking. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So right now, this is my guy weed. Apparently, I'm not really sure what this is, but it's from her guy. It's from upstate New York.
Okay.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. So I kind of like I said, I dusted that off, and I kind of started rewriting it and working on things. And I was like, who could I get to play this? Because I was like, I want to try to get in my circle. And I was just like thinking, and then like one day I was like, oh, let me see if Brittany's interested. And I sent her the 3 episodes that I wrote, and she was just like, this is like my dating life. This character
cool.
is me. So she was like, yeah, I'd love to do this. So we shot 3 episodes basically as like spec episodes that we were going to use to either, crowdfund to do more or use to pitch to like a streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten some really good responses from it.
I saw the promo of it, but I didn't notice. Did you have any? Was it like was it a COVID world or was it an un-COVID world?
Un-COVID world that we did, yeah. But all the crew was small. It was me and like the sound person, and that's pretty much it.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So, but no, not that. But like in the actual filming of it, everybody there is like pre-COVID in this world.
Yes, this world is pre-COVID. No masks, no mention of any of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the date on it? When in time were we supposed to be?
Generally present day, but I guess like an alternate reality. Reality without COVID. Right?
Because that's what I wonder. I wonder if people are just gonna like write out COVID. Like that could easily happen. You can still continue on your projects and like it's 2020 and blah 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 is happening.
Right. And
you don't have to mention COVID.
No,
right?
No, you don't. No, because I don't think people want to really. They want to watch movies and shows for fun. They don't want to be reminded of that stuff, unless there's like some kind of like horror element to it, maybe, which I can move on to later about.
Or documentary era. You know what I mean? There's
right.
There's gonna be the COVID mask documentary and shit like that. Because I've been tripping out. I was talking to a doctor, and I was mentioning the masks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he could care less about life. Like I was like, the mask, and aren't they killing the planet? And he could just care less about anything that was happening. He's just like, man, I'm just at work, man. Right. That's what I do. And I was just like, this doctor has the futures. He has the world's hands, like, bodies in his hands, and he doesn't care.
Right.
So it's like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kerplunked. I want to say I gotta use different. No, because I've been trying to care more about the planet, care more about myself, care more about the things, and with the artwork that I'm creating as well, caring.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult process. It's a difficult thing to maintain caring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you have like a lot of high stakes at hand. So like buying all of these masks and creating all these masks, I'm like, this is so much waste that we've created.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like they're worse than cigarette butts now. They're all over the ground everywhere.
Worse than condoms.
Worse than condoms, yeah.
Worse than condoms, you know what I mean? I remember I used to see a condom every now and again on the ground. You see masks on the ground all the time.
All over.
I see somebody drop a mask and they'll just leave it there. They'll be like, no.
Yeah.
Like they're too good to pick up the mask.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Band-Aids all over the place. It's gross. It's just like you got your shit all over it and your mouth and, it's like.
Your DNA, you know what I mean? But mostly that's when I go outside. I've been mostly in the house. I changed a lot of habits during COVID. It was crazy, man. COVID was crazy.
Yeah.
It's very intense.
Yeah, I think the key was too to find something to occupy your time, whatever it is,
Yeah,
because otherwise
yeah,
you're gonna go nuts. Can't go out to eat, can't go out to a bar. I mean, it's just you can go to a grocery store, but what fun is that?
yeah, for sure, for sure. I was dating a girl at the time at the start of COVID. We were arguing, and then we got locked down together, and broke up during COVID. So,
Okay, okay,
but it was sort of getting to that point. I still like care about her. She's still a good human being. I don't know
yeah,
how she feels about me, but it's just like as a relationship, it was a lot of working and moving parts,
oh yeah,
And but I remember we would go to restaurants at this time because I was coming from um, the restaurant industry. I was working as a bartender. You
hmm
had like the inn on the restaurants, and one of the things were like they would give away free food to restaurant workers. You just had to go to the thing and say the code word or whatever. They would
right,
email you the code word, and you go to the restaurants, and it
yeah,
would be this whole big thing. We would be like wrapped up, like head wraps, because we didn't know what it was out there. We
yeah,
had no idea how serious or how not serious it was. We was out there like full on face mask with head wraps over that, trying like what I
yeah,
mean? We wouldn't go outside with, and then it was just like I was just like, yo, I think I had to go uptown to go see my cousin, and I got uptown, and it was a full on barbecue.
yeah,
There was
nice,
there was just nothing had changed for them, yo.
yeah,
Nothing had like it was just everything was the same. I could not believe it, man.
yeah,
So that juxtaposition, I was just like, all right, let me listen more to what the news is saying, what the CDC is saying, what this is, and
hmm hmm
not just get caught up in the sensationalism or
right,
be fear mongered, because we are scared that like the Earth is sort of attacking us.
yeah,
Like it's like we've been doing bad to the Earth, so the Earth is like, hey man,
yeah,
it's a little bit of payback. And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
again, with the mask thing, I don't know if creating more pollution and more litter is the answer.
yeah,
And especially like these disposable, just more disposable, non-biodegradable. These things end up on landfills,
yeah.
and they don't dematerialize for 10 to 15 years at a time.
Yeah.
My
Well, the thing
garbage
is,
is
go
still
ahead.
here
Yeah.
from the 20s,
Yeah.
from my
Oh, yeah.
20s,
For your
from
20s.
my
Oh, yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still
Especially like
it's still there.
anything plastic too. If that goes in there, that's not going. You're gonna be dead before that's done.
It's still
I'll be
there.
dead before that's done.
You know
No,
what I
but I
mean?
think
But
it's like the thing is I think with the disposable stuff, people just like they like it easy. They don't want to have to like wash something and then even though that's so simple, just throw it in with your laundry and wash your stuff. They don't. They're just like, I'll take this, then I'll just throw it wherever, or I'll just get rid of it. I mean, God, I've seen people. I'm driving behind them, and at a stop sign, they'll just take a McDonald's cup and just drop it out the window and go on like there's no big deal. I'm like, that's just like you want to get out and just reach in and choke those kind of people.
I think what I think about those kind of people is that their fear of mortality has driven them to like not caring about anything.
Mm.
They're like, hey man, this at the end of the day we all die. Fuck it.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't matter. They don't weigh the sum of their actions as a sum of our parts.
hmm
It's like their part. They're like, well, fuck it. We're all. That's how I feel about those people. The mortality, the idea of mortality, has killed their humanity.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's a part of being a human or a societal human. That sort of kills us. I
Right.
don't know who's just texting me right now. Hold on. I'm trying to see if this is Joy. We're waiting for. I don't know what happened to Joy. Actually, to be honest with you, I can't play your message. Whoever this is texting me. If you're texting me and also watching, I can't run your voice message because I'm on the chat. How do we know each other, JPC?
I think it was through Paco.
Is it Paco?
I think Paco connected us a long time ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you? Did you shoot? Dick'll Make You Slap Somebody?
I did.
Yo!
Yeah.
Yo, you're the fucking man, bro.
Yeah, that was one of those things that almost that was almost in the Daily News. There was a teacher that threatened that Paco's school that he worked at, if he didn't take it down, or if they didn't have him take it down, they were going to take it to the Daily News. I'm like, dude, let him take it to the Daily News then. That's great.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that.
That's what I told. I was like, you get fired over. That's a way to get fired. Whoa!
Yep.
Missed me, Elliot. She came in late. And your camera's greasy. Clean your camera off.
My camera is not greasy. That's my shirt because I put on too much shade.
No, it's blurry. It's blurry.
My camera's blurry.
There it goes. Yeah.
Sorry. I had to fun this weekend. Yeah, I was actually going to ask you if I can get 5 more minutes because I need to run to the store for lady business.
Do your thing.
I'll be right back.
All right. So yeah. What were you saying? See, this is the problem. That's the thing about herbs. What?
the Dick'll Make You Slap Somebody video.
Dick'll Make You Slap Somebody. Yo, I praise that video as being one of the illest videos ever and illest moments in time. And I was like, man, and I know he was like, I want to keep my job and my tenure. And
yeah.
I just wish he would have he would have blew up. Yeah.
I know. We even had like Alexis Tyler. I sent her the video and she's like, she posted it on her on one of her social medias. Like, look at this white boy go. He's like, it's a good song. Yeah. So it was like, it was going. It was like the wheels were in motion. Then all of a sudden it's just like momentum's gone.
Can't mess up that. I understand you can't mess up that pension. He's like,
yeah.
He has like, you know what I mean? You got the long plan on, and I appreciate that, man. I respect and appreciate anybody who has the long plan on. But the Dick'll. No, I don't. At this point, I feel like he should be a tenured professor, right? He can't get fired.
I don't think he's not a teacher anymore. He's
not a teacher anymore?
No, he's working in his own studio. He started his own business.
He has his own studio. Please, if you text Paco.
Okay.
It's still relevant. The video is still good.
It's still,
still relevant. And anybody out here, please, you can Google the original sample. Is there a way? Can we just give you money and you just send us the video individually?
Let me see if I can put a private link on it. If Paco will let me do that, I'll put a private link on my Vimeo.
Put a private link on it, and maybe we can do like a private. I want to do private screenings of the Dick'll Make You Slap Somebody music video. One of the dopest music video. I was like, oh shit, that's. Okay, that's why I revere your work. I'm like, yo, man, damn, yo, Dick'll Make You Slap Somebody. That was a good moment in time.
That was actually the second music video I ever did. That was when I was doing music videos for free. It was a friend of mine who was like, he was working with this guy named Sicky Brett, and I did a video for him. He's like a hip hop dude, and I did it for free. That was when I was trying to get out of publishing and start doing video stuff. So I did that, and then I did Paco's video, and I was like, oh, yo, I'm like, I got this. Let's do like all these wacky ideas, and I just wrote down all this shit for him. And he's like, oh, these are great. He's like, let's do them all. And
okay, you were in publishing?
I was, yeah, for a long time. I was before I started doing this. I was a program editor at Playbill. Yeah, which was terrible. It was just like.
What is it? Just like it's like
copy editing, basically. It's just I had to like I get the books that you get to go to like Lincoln Center or whatever. Like I would get the information for that and I would format them, but then I'd have to go through them and do it to like the Chicago Manual of Style, and it's just like that's not my thing. And it was just like no creativity involved. It was just like assembly line stuff, like literally, and it was so boring and so yeah. So I got out of there.
Did it pay well at least?
No.
No? That's crazy.
No.
That's crazy. I've never, that's what I've been having a breakdown about over the pandemic. I always tried to have like some kind of normal job.
Mm-hmm.
and in the universe's own beautiful, fucked up way. I have never been able to keep just like a normal 9 to 5, boring, pull your pants up, come in the office, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has not been a thing that has manifested in my life ever. And I've been like, did I miss something? Did I miss something?
No.
Like, you know, because I know a lot of people come from that, but they get their, I'm not working on my computer, so I'm keeping on getting pop-ups here. And I'm just like, what the fuck what is all of this? But I know I'm not working on my computer. As you guys know, I'm not at the crib. I'm over here at the other part of town, but that's my spot right there. I like to have my camera on just in case. Who's in my studio right there? So you were copy editing. You started making music videos. Then we worked on something else together. I know we worked on some other projects together.
Oh yeah, that was a couple years after I started doing video. We did Laugh K in 2015.
Laugh K, we did that together.
Yeah,
we did that together. I remember that. I wrote because that's when I was writing a lot, and I wasn't doing as much stand up. I was doing a little bit of stand up, but I wasn't doing much stand up, and especially not out here in New York. I was doing more improv and writing here. So I was like, I wrote something, and I think because we connected with Dick'll Make You Slap Somebody. Now that the herbals is vibing the vibes, because we connected and we hung out, I think a couple of times at Chris Carr's.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So we did Laugh K. How'd you feel about that process? How did it feel working with O'Henny Cornelius?
How did I feel? It was different, you know. You tend to, like, you know, you take the material, like, literally run with it, and kind of you're on book, you're off book, you kind of, you know. But that's good though, you know. I mean, it's kind of like you do your thing, but then you reel back in to keep telling the story, you know. So I mean, you got a lot of enthusiasm, you know, which is great, you know. And you like to experiment, and that's what I like to do, you know.
I'm definitely understanding now the reason why I'm not like the famous Hollywood actor people who, when I was young, they imagined from me. I was just like, my personality doesn't match that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to play a certain part first, and then, you know what I mean? And I'm always just like, I'm living life. Like from the start, I'm like, from the start, we're gonna live life. So I felt like these kind of conversations and this knowledge allows me to be like, oh, damn, I've been doing this for a while now. Fuck. And that's why you got to tap into what you're doing. You have to tap into what you do best. And that's what I think Issa Rae and I'm trying to think of others, but that's the most pertinent person in my mind right now who writes their own things and shoots their own stuff and believe in their projects. And that allows them to have more creativity when they're working with others, you know? Because people already respect the craft. People already respect the audience that they bring. Yeah. So that's that's what I'm working on with this, and with we'll get to the project later on that we're working on together. But so we did Laugh K. Yep. Now we shot that in the basement of my old apartment. Yeah. We shot that in the basement. That was a good groovy time. Laugh K was about a stand-up comedian who was literally trying to kill himself. It's on YouTube if you guys got YouTube. He's literally trying to kill himself. It's LAFFK. Let me put that. I'm gonna put that in there. We'll put that out there in the chats for you guys. Hold on.
And you brought on Johnny May to help and play your mother in that, and she, you know, I Wolf of Wall Street is one of my favorite movies, and she was great in that one.
Yeah. Oh no. That's the thing about being a New York actor, like, and a New York producer. You have access to some great artists, especially if you have a good script and you have a little bit of money. Yeah. Like, you know, and because we all coming up together, and Black actors especially, they know what it's like. Yeah, you know, so I have that respect. I do have that respect in regards of my people know that I'm a producer myself. So if
Right.
I got some change, I can get some cool black actors
Yeah.
because they fuck with me and they've seen me. I've grown up with them as well. So
Right.
Johnny May, I know Johnny May's like from years ago. You feel me? Before
Yeah.
that right there.
Yeah.
But she came in and killed it on Wolf of Wall Street. She's killed it in other things too.
Yeah.
She's like from my peer group and our group. She's like she plays a lot of grandmas and a lot of like mama on the street, mama on the vibe, know it all black woman who helps and provides and that archetype of character, beautiful human being as well.
Yeah, no, she was great. I mean, she's just and she was just once the camera started rolling, even before, but she was just like on, and she just has that screen presence that's just it feels natural, like she's not even reciting dialogue. I mean, it's just it's crazy that some people have like that's why I work behind the camera because I'm not an actor, and that's not my thing. But it's like the people who can do that, it's like I envy and admire them because it's like something that I wish I could do, but it's just like my talents are much better suited for something. To work with those people and to bring something out of them that's really, really cool,
No, definitely. I think in terms of the connection piece, my talent is definitely like, I can act, but I think sometimes I'm better at like playing a version of like words that I would actually say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or characters that I want to connect with. It's harder, I think, to play people that I don't believe in,
right?
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we did Laugh K together.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think some time went by, right?
Yep, a couple years until I think it was like actually about 4 years ago. Around this time, I think we connected to do the other one, which was we changed the name of that so many times. I forget what the name of it is.
Only Nothing Lasts Forever.
Only Nothing Lasts Forever. Right. Yeah.
So we did Only Nothing Lasts Forever. That was cool. That was like a project. My son was in that project. My ex-girlfriend was in that project. Mad Friends. We had Aaron in there. We had cK'll helped us out with producing. Who else was in there? Yuka Taga.
Yep.
My nephew was in it, Ronald.
Oh, right. Yeah, he did a great job.
Ronald Smith. Yeah. Jada Jarvis, motherfucker Jones, Tehran, he directed it.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was on SVU like a year ago or something like
that.
Yeah,
you saw him, right?
I did see him. Yeah. He's a sleazy cab driver.
He's like, man, I booked it. I was like, all right, what's up, man? Where you gonna be at? He's like, I'm gonna be on SVU. I was like, oh, word, what role? What you been killing? I think he's like, nah, I'm a pervert or something like that.
Yeah, he's a sleazy cab driver.
Yeah. I was like, hey man, kill that shit, man. You gotta take that role, boy.
Yeah. No, he took it and run with it too. It was just like he fit the bill. He was great. He had like the hair, he had the style, he was smoking a cigarette, it was like Yeah.
And back to that, more than anything, I'm not gonna lie, where I've sort of noticed recently more than anything, it's been ego for me. It's been ego for me. I'm adding you back to the stream, but you don't have to talk just yet.
Okay.
It's really been sort of ego for me. It's not that I can't act. It's like I just haven't played the part that I want. Yeah. So I'm sort of tired. That's what I've been saying lately. Like I'm tired, and I would rather invest whatever dollars I have made over this time in taking the minimal role, the $1,000 a day role, which is cool. It's not a bad, or $5,000 for a couple of days. You take the check. And you still have to have a regular job, and your friends see you, but they're like, "Yo, I saw you in that movie." I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking spent that money by the time you saw me in that movie." So with that, I'm like, I would rather sort of focus my energy on being in the arc and being a part of the story, being a key part of the story. It's more for my ego, because if you're really a part of the acting world, every part is a part of the story, and every part, no part is too small. And,
right.
That's the reality of it. Mm-hmm. But for me and my ego, and I'm like, the time period that has passed, I'm like, I'm sort of tired of playing the guy with no name who has no actual impact on the project, but it's good that my friends see me, you know,
Right.
or
Kinda like
it
cog in
pays
the
a
wheel.
bill. Yeah, it's like it pays a bill. Like, yeah, I got a job that can pay a bill, or I can go get a job that can pay a bill, or
Yeah.
you know, whatever it is. So Laugh K, then Only Nothing Lasts Forever. It was like a timeline piece. I had wrote that as a joke because I felt like in the major mainstream projects I do, I always die. So in this, I wanted to die, but not get killed. How they usually kill me. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
grew older. I was like made it so that I was older and I died. That was cool. That was cool. And then that did a couple of film festivals.
Mm-hmm.
It actually got a couple of film festival awards. 3
Oh, really?
to be exact.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah, we have three film festival awards. We have 3 laureate banners.
Oh,
I can
really?
send them to you. I can
Oh,
send them
yeah,
to you.
yeah. I'd love to check them out. Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
put
yeah,
that out there more. Like you gotta let us know that you're so accomplished.
Yeah, right?
And stop being so humble, bro.
No, it's not even. It's like what do awards mean? You know what I mean? Like like the people who gave me awards, they didn't give me more money to make another film after that. So you
Right.
know, you know what I mean? So like that's really what it is. Like after all of it, like I appreciate the congratulations, but after all of it is just like, can we continue to produce art? Can we continue to be successful and own our a piece of our legacy and not only share in the ownership of others, because I don't think there's anything wrong with me working for a Paramount or working for HBO and sharing my legacy with theirs, but also am I building mine, you know? So we did that. We've worked again after that, though. I think I called you on this one.
Yeah. That was on cK'll in Harlem. I took over cinematography duties from Adam after his gear got ripped off. So,
that was crazy.
Yeah, I heard that. That's
I think he loaned his gear out to somebody and then he didn't want to return it. I was just like,
something like that. It was like literally a nightmare. And that was like a red camera, so that's like a $30,000 package. That's
Wow.
Yeah, I think somebody just schemed them out. Like, you know, they rented it for like a weekend. I think he had it on like some kind of share system. Mm-hmm. He rented it out for a weekend because I think we weren't shooting for that weekend. Mm-hmm. And the people were like, we're not giving it back. And they just, I don't think with the, you know, the shared system might have gave them a couple of dollars or some shit like that. But I don't think it was enough to buy the camera back.
Right.
Yeah, so that's it'd be loopholes. It'd be loopholes that, you know, you gotta get in and out of the loopholes that are there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So but Serial Killer in Harlem was great. I don't know where that movie is. It's still, if you go to my IMDb, it says post-production.
Yeah, I think it's still, actually, Wesley contacted me like, oh God, like at least a year ago. And he said, oh, I can't sync up this footage. Can you help me out? And he sent it over to me and I eventually synced it up for him. He's like, oh yeah, I'll let you know when it's out. And I haven't heard a word since then. Yeah. So I don't know if it's out. I don't know if he's still.
Maybe they're working on a deal but that was a good experience for me. That was my first time in a feature-length capacity playing the lead character.
Yeah, that's the first feature I've shot. Yeah, well, I mean,
I've done it in a short capacity. And I was like, I looked at some scenes. I was like, can I carry a movie? I feel like, yeah, you know, the right shots. I don't think I'm like terribly like uninteresting to watch. So it was reassuring to me. That's also why I want to see the finished product, to be like, sit there and be like, okay. And then I can judge it and be like, is it me? Am I terrible to watch? Or is it just a combination of having all of the right things together? Like, you know, has it been this whole time? That's why I haven't been getting the roles, not because it's a racist system, but because I'm fucking, in fact, just terrible. Or, you know,
is it racism or is it lack of talent?
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I gotta ask myself that. So what I want to see the whole film of that. So, but also I'm writing my own script, but we have something coming up where I am a part of a supporting cast. Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah, so that is kind of like a completely different direction than what I even thought that I was going to go. I'm very, you know, I would say I'm more of a comedy filmmaker and writer, you know, especially with the dick will make you slap somebody. That's, you know, funny, but it's a really, you know, it's a whacked out kind of funny. And that's always been kind of like my stock in trade. But, you know, also during the pandemic, I was thinking like, you know, no clients are coming to me because everything's shut down, you know? So like, what can I do to kind of, instead of waiting for the money to come to me, do something to get the money. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, horror films sell, you know, and you know, the gratuitous nudity and the violence and like that sells. So I'm like, why don't I do something like that? And I was just, you know, and then I connected with Mandy because she was in Serial Kill in Harlem. She had that small part where she was the chopped cheese lady.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. So we connected, and I was telling her, you know, I'm trying to get some stuff off the ground. She's like, oh, well, I know this. I got a friend of mine, and he's got this house that's empty, and I don't know if they're changing ownership or whatever, but it's just basically these different apartments in this big house, and it's just completely empty. And I was like, why don't we do something where these like street punks, like you'd see on St. Mark's or you know, Tompkins Square Park, they get wind of this squat house, and they go up there and they find all these bags that were left over, and basically, you know, in the bags there's like alcohol and drugs, and they just start to party and everything. But it turns out those bags were left there because of the people who got killed, and there's a mass killer in the house. So it's basically like a slasher movie from like the early 80s kind of a thing. But it's like, we're doing it down and dirty. It's going to be gritty and grainy and like sleazy, and you know, it basically has everything that you would think that like an 80s slasher has, you know? So it's like, this is one of those things that is just, I want it to be fun. I want people to look at it and be like, this movie is terrible, but it was entertaining. And that's totally.
I have a question about your movie, because you said it's like everything that we would expect out of an 80s slasher film.
Yeah.
And the 80s slasher films, I expect the black person to die first. So is that going to happen in your movie? Because then I can't go see it. Like that's
no, he does not die first. Someone else dies first. But however, this cast, I purposely wrote the characters with inclusion in mind. So there's only there's one including the first two people who died, there's 3 white people. Everyone else is of like, there was a girl from Chile, there's a girl Vietnamese, there's Ohene, I'm just like, I really was trying
He's
to
like I want a salad.
yeah, exactly. And then there's always like the final girl, and in the 80s horror movies, the final girl is always white. Well, our final girl is Vietnamese. So, you know, and even the serial killer, as I think he's from somewhere like Southeast Asia or India or somewhere around there. So it's like, I'm trying to do something different but the same. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Like real low key, I kind of want to see a movie where there's a black serial killer, just because I want to know what that would be like how we would, because serial killers, like in general, in real life and in films, always seem to be white. You know what I'm saying? So
there is a black serial killer called Sam Little. He was a black serial killer. I believe he was in California. He was
of course you know
killer.
that.
Huh?
I said, of course you would know that.
Well, I wanted to play a black serial killer I wanted to play a serious version though, because I was like, there's no black serial killers. I'm always getting cast as a bad guy. I was like, what's the ultimate bad guy? If you want to be the arc, you want to have the arc, you want to have the storyline, you want the story to be about you. So I looked them up, and that's so no other reason besides that, you know. But I think I think it's because we have in the black community in America, there's different types of violence that we have to deal with. So our version of serial killer may not be considered a serial killer like that. But I think some people who are like a gangbanger or a drug dealer who's murdered multiple people in a way where they're hiding it, that's a serial killer,
right?
To a certain extent, you know what I mean? But it's just done in a different manner.
Yeah. I mean, that's the cultural thing too, I guess. You know, I was like, you know, Japan has their version of serial killers, and they're much different than what we do, and other, you know, other parts of world cinema have their version, you know. So it's like, it really just boils down to, you know, I mean, America is, despite us calling ourselves the melting pot and like welcoming everybody. It's not necessarily so. Everything's white centric, and and especially back in the 80s when they did those kind of serial killers, they always had the token black guy or girl, and they always had like maybe they throw in an Asian just to have that there, and everything else was just like that's all white, And I thought when I wanted to do this, I'm just like let's kind of turn that on its head and make the final girl someone different, and all the people who were involved, they're of different backgrounds, but I don't call any I don't want to call any attention to it. It's just like
Right.
that's who that person is. That's the character. They're there, and you don't need to know where they're from, or I mean, you can see, but it's not really self-aware.
And I think like essentially that's really what any person of color is really looking for when it comes to like the industry, the media that's being put out in the industry. We just want to be able to play roles and not be the black this or like the black or like the Asian this. Like, why can't it just be a serial killer who happens to be Asian or like what I mean? So I really like that type of attention that you're bringing to your project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, and O'Henny's character isn't a gangbanger. He's not a drug dealer. He's a street punk dude who's hard living, and trying to find a place to crash. And, so, I mean, I guess you could kind of say that this has like an artsy kind of a feel to it. Plus we're going to be doing a lot of like improv. But it's just, I'm taking something that's kind of tried and true, but then putting my own spin on it and having everybody else put their own spin on it and creating their character.
Larry David meets titties.
Exactly.
What?
Yeah.
You just lost me on that one. I'm not a Larry David fan. I'm just not like I slowly like I get it, but I'm just also just not. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we're the podcast. Pod Nola casting around. Woo! Definitely. I want to give a shout out and a RIP to Shock G, the one who put satin in your panties. Isn't that crazy?
Humpty. If there was no if it weren't for Shock G, the world would have never known Tupac.
That's the truth.
A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And he had his hands in a lot of different things, like he in areas of hip hop. He wasn't just a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Like, also the quality they brought to hip hop back then with them fucking horns. Ah!
Yeah, and plus the idea of having two personas.
Yeah,
like the idea of being like, this is not me. Like I have another like more comical version of me that, which actually came. If you watch the documentary, the Tupac documentary, that came as like they were joking. He just did that as like a joke as for that one song, and they wanted him to do it as a character more often because it just was so popular.
Wow.
But he just did it because he didn't know what to say at this part of the rhyme, and he started joking about it and just doing like a silly voice, and then people just loved it so much, and the label was like, we need a whole album.
That's
we need a whole album of Humpty. And he was like, I don't know about a whole album, but I'll bring the character out, blah blah blah.
That's what's up. I didn't know. See, Nicki Minaj, you owe Shock G like your beginnings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's crazy. Multiple personalities, for sure. Also, we're the podcast, the most popular podcast on this block right here.
No, it's the greatest New York City area. We decided this last week, bro. We're the most popular podcast.
I remember, but I was trying to do the breakdown for Joseph and everyone else who may not have saw last week.
Well,
on this block, and now this block where I am right here, and now that block where Joy is, and of course, I think are you out there in Queens still?
I'm in Queens, yeah.
Yeah, that's the greatest New York City area.
The greater New York City area. The podcast. Around. We got a couple of topics we're gonna do before we get out of here, man. Joy, what are you smoking on?
I just called it Gold Bag because I don't know what the fuck is in this bag. This is from the 420 party. Shout out to our vendors that came through. Yeah, like I don't know what this was. Somebody just gave it to me, and then when I was cleaning, I found two more. So I was like, "Oh shit, niggas just leaving weed in my house? Like what?"
How does that weed smoke right there?
It's all okay. I like it. It's kind of mellow. It's I'm still focused. I'm still clear. Like I would think it's a sativa, but like maybe I would think it's a hybrid, and maybe like just a little dominance on the sativa side because it really does. It's overall chill. It breaks up real nice. It smells good. It looks good. Like I'm not mad. I have no complaints
Is
about
it bright colors? Is it dark colors? What is it?
It's like a dark, I would think maybe it's a purple haze. Maybe it's related to haze because it's like a dark green and there seem to be a little purple flecks in there.
We got to do a segment where we just have people describe weeds. I like this right now.
Just describe the weed.
Like we just send you a nug, and we just send you a picture of a nug, and you just got to describe it. Like you know, what that would be
I think it smells like citrus, and maybe it came from the hills of Alabama or something.
Yeah. Joseph, how do you feel about like not only like weed being legal, but like the business aspect of weed? Like, is it funny money? Is it good for the economy? What are you feeling?
I mean, I think it's great. You know, I mean, it's a long time coming for New York. I mean, it's gonna add so many jobs. Like I said, people can start up their own coffee shop or distribution or whatever, you know. And my brother is in finance, and I talked to him. I'm like, should I be investing in companies, you know, that distribute the weed to like the people, like, you know, the dispensaries out in Colorado and how they have in California? And he's like, well, you could. He's like, but for something like that, you might want to wait until it's like federally legal. So I would say the people who are really going to make the money are the independent proprietors who are going to open up shops and like dispensaries and everything like that.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not a bad idea to just like find a little place that even if it has like
how are you going to get the weeds?
Well,
right now they're talking like 12 to 18 months before there's any like real groundwork. So like it's legal for you to have it, but it's still illegal kind of for you to buy it. Because this is the catch-20. This is the space that we're in right now, this transitional space, right? So since there's no actual law written about it, like it's not illegal for you to have it or smoke it. It's still illegal for you to smoke it in places where smoking isn't allowed. You'll get a fine and maybe some community service, but it's still illegal for you to buy it because there's no actual like written groundwork for it right now. So until this stuff actually is written into law, like there are clear-cut rules for it, it's a real gray area. Like you got to smoke, you know, guys, smoke responsibly and safely out there. Like don't just roll up walking down the street, like blow it in the cop's face. No.
Like that's like people joke about that, but I'm like, if you do that, you bugging. You know what I mean? I'll smoke.
You're bugging.
Like, you know, I was smoking. I was in the street. I was smoking the other day, and I saw a cop car there, and I just continued smoking. I was like, it is legal. Like, nobody should be bothering me right now for smoking. I'm not driving. If I was driving, it would be a difference. It's still illegal to drive, and like I think that's important to learn the rules about it. What they've done, and so you said buying or selling, but the delivery is
this is the thing. Like I said, it's not illegal for you to possess it, and even in some instances, if you're buying less than 3 ounces, it's not illegal for you to buy it. But it kind of is because it's still considered an illegal substance until there is like the person who is selling it to you is still wrong for selling it now.
But once you have ownership of it, if you're not caught selling it or buying it, and you have ownership over it, then it's legal. Yeah. Do they have to catch you right at the exchange, or once
they have to catch you in the act? Essentially,
yeah. Because if you have it already,
and they search you, and it's less than 3 ounces, they can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, it's like we both have it already.
They can ask you where you got it, and you like, I don't know, some dude, like whatever, but they can't like arrest you for that shit. Like, nah, they can't do that. The thing that's awesome though is like, because there's regular updates on what's going on in New York. There's the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act of New York is actually being called a game changer and maybe the most socially equitable program developed around marijuana because of the stipulations that might be put into these.
Yeah.
So, like with licensing, the goal is to issue 50% of adult use licenses to social and economic equity supply applicants.
They
So,
better
like,
give me a license, yo.
you know
For
what I'm
what
saying?
I've done with smoking jokes, they just better send me a license to my house. I just want somebody to contact me on the phone and be like, yo, your work with the weed community has been amazing over the past generation. And so we give you an honorary weed license, sir.
Yeah, it's like they right now they're predicting that priority might be given to like micro businesses and delivery licenses.
Okay.
Like people can get it. They saying that 40% of the tax revenue is supposed to go into like these community reinvigoration funds. So like you can get a grant or something to improve your community, right? Especially all of our communities that have been like affected by the war on drugs, right? That disproportionately affected our Black communities, you know what I mean? So they want to invest it supposedly back into it. And then also they want to have social equity programs toward low and zero interest loans, reduced or waived fees, and assistance preparing applications. So like if you're of a certain income, they want to be able to allow you to have access to the filing process, giving you help for the filing process, also creating programs that make sure that like you have that access and you have the knowledge that you need to do, helping you as much as possible, possibly reducing or waiving your fees, which could be in like the range of like $200,000, as much as $200,000, depending on, If you look at what happened in
Birdman hand rub.
well, dog, Colorado, some of the licenses in Colorado were as little as 20,000, but some were about $250,000 for a business to get a license. And that's how Colorado made $20 million in a week. You know what I'm saying? They made $20 million that first week that weed was legal, and they issued licenses, and that's just off the licensing fees. That's crazy. Imagine what that could do for New York. Like maybe my kid's school could actually get some working computers and accurate textbooks. I don't know. We don't know. Like,
trickle down economics. Hopefully, if it actually works, if they actually let the money trickle down to all communities, that would be amazing.
Well, that's also it. They're not trying to let it trickle down. What they're trying to do is make sure that a portion of what is collected doesn't have to trickle down. It just automatically goes to these communities.
Well, that's the trickle. It's
that's collected. Not a trickle, Bob. Like 50%. That's not a trickle. That's a shower. That's a
sploosh. It's a sploosh.
If you were saying like 10-20%, that's a trickle.
Well, it's a sploosh then. It's a sploosh. Because if you think about what has happened thus far to those communities, it's a sploosh. It's a sploosh in the right direction.
It's a sploosh.
But also that 40%, is going to be taxed, and that 40% is going to come.
No, that 40% is from taxes.
It's going to come with a tax. I saw something today. It was an old fat man, and he was just sitting there, and he was like, "Win or lose, you gotta pay." And I was just like, that was the deepest thing I ever heard. Win or lose, you gotta pay. So that something comes. Desperados, what?
Desperados.
Yeah, I can hear you. So we're coming to the end of the podcast.
Are we?
I have two women in there who's doing a pole dancing, and
I missed that. I did not miss that.
Yeah. So I'm
gonna
do that.
That's fine. My shout out to my Black business then.
Yes, shout out to your Black business.
So my shout out this week is to Baco, Brooklyn Artistry & Co. for this fly ass limited edition fedora. It matches my
Baco. How you spell that?
BACO. Well, they didn't make these shoes, but I got it because it matches them. Anyway, they have a bunch of new stuff up on their site. Long-time Brooklyn artists, supported Black artists.
Is that their Instagram?
Their Instagram is the Baco Store. TheBacosTore.
Let's push that up
the Baco Store. So make sure you go and like support them, yo. I'm waiting for my throw pillows to come. I can't wait. It's just really exciting.
Can't wait. Joseph, you have anybody you want to shout out before you leave, man? You want any words of wisdom or anything?
Well, shout out to you for having me on.
Look on my table.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. This is the podcast, the most popular podcast in the greater New York City region. We appreciate you coming out. Thanks for keeping us abreast on the, you know what I mean? Keeping us abreast.
I mean, hey, all you need is a handful. That's
you know what I mean? Might as well keep me 2 titties next time. But yeah, we appreciate you keeping us like locked in on what you got going on, man.
Yeah,
and
man, thanks.
Continue to work and continue to put the stuff up the sleeve and like pulling out the tricks and convince Paco to release that video, man.
I will talk to him.
Now.
Yeah. I
It's
think
time
I think that enough time's passed and he's far enough away from his old job that it's negligible.
It's done, man. Like it's like the world needs to see that video. I will promote the heck out of that video.
Yeah, word, please. Pass my way. Like
it was classic. It was classic. It was a classic video.
Yeah, I agree.
And whatever I can do to coax it.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bonus.
Yeah. All right, man. All right, we talk to you in a minute.
Okay.
Peace.
It's just you and me now.
Yeah. Me, you, and that hat.
Yeah, no, this hat is fucking this hat is giving me so much life. Like, fuck that. I'm about to be the rich auntie everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I wanted this hat so bad because you know what? It's been a while since I could wear hats.
Oh,
wow. I had all them locks. My head was too big, and now I can wear any fucking hat I want. Like,
when you had a baldy, could you wear hats? Because your hats probably slipped off your head when you had a baldy, right?
No, they didn't. They fit even better when you have a baldy. Matter of fact,
really?
next time I shave my head, you'll see. I'm gonna wear my hats. I'm gonna wear hats every day just because you said that shit. Yeah. What hat? I'm gonna wear a different hat every single day.
Word.
Yeah. Next time I shave my hair, about a month.
You let me give you a lady lineup like this. Just I'm gonna put 3.
Yeah, I like my free form afro. I don't want edges. I don't want my shit laid. I don't want shit. I don't want to be shaved. I want my shit to be natural. I don't want to stop the natural.
I be on the same shit, man. I got lady edges too over this bitch. Like,
I don't want no edges. I don't care. I want my shit to be like free and nappy and natural. Yeah. And like happy. That's how you have happy hair. It's like just stop fucking with it. Let it be what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Plus, I don't trust barbers. I have bad luck with new barbers. Like every time I switch barbers, I get a fucked up lineup. Like I once had somebody give me a hairline, right? Because he was like, "Oh, you need a more feminine hairline." This nigga made my shit like it looked like he traced my shit with a bow, and my hairline went from here. It was like I was like, the fuck? I was out here looking all sorts of fucked up. You know, I just don't trust.
Hey, you practicing your super fupa joke?
Oh yeah, look, I wore this just so I could keep practicing it.
No,
and throw off my super fupa. You know what I mean? Because you got to get comfortable with it. It's that boyfriend that I don't have. You know what I mean? It just keeps me warm in the winter and it comforts me in the summer. Like
yeah.
I can just hold myself.
That joke land, yo. It lands. You gotta, you know what I mean? And then you know what I mean? Like it's. I want to see your stand up like flourish. But it takes time. It's practice out there. You know, I give you that. You gotta get sea legs out there. It's a lot of.
I know, but I'm getting better, right? I'm not as bad as like the beginning of this year. I've been bombing. I started off bombing this year because it was like just not being.
Actually, you started off good in Toronto. You had a good first show. I remember that show right there in Toronto. I was like, oh shit, she might. The second show, I was like, okay.
Because I was pissed. I didn't know I was gonna go last, so I drank way too much. Like that was just it. Like,
definitely too much inebriation on stage will like.
It'll
in either form, even with me, like with too much weed, I'll be up there. Mostly edibles though. If I have too many edibles. Like I can't even eat edibles before I perform. Like it's like.
But see, that's why I like over the pandemic, I've been like just really honing in on my like sobriety. I do intermittent sobriety, so I don't drink most of the time. Like I might drink sometimes socially, but I don't drink anymore. Like I don't drink alone. I like drink. I do not do it. If it's more than a cider, it's not happening. Like because it's just like it's unnecessary, right?
I'm gonna give you the Green Apple Award for that this week. She's a good apple, y'all.
I get the green apple.
We had 2 shows this last week. I had a crazy show at Unruly Collective that was wild. We had to have 2 stages open up, and then we had a show at the Clapback Queens headquarters.
Right. That shit was lit. I mean, even with the technical difficulties and everything, like it was.
I went out and bought 3 mics. I've just bought 3 mics, yo. I was so mad. I was like, yo, I bought 2 wireless and another.
Yo, did you take my mic cord with you? Or is my mic cord still here?
Your mic cord is there. My speaker is still there.
Oh, you come get it then. Like,
that sweater right there, I'm giving you that sweater. I promote that. I bought that sweater, but you can have it, the LaCou sweater, because I want to shout out. That's my black business that I want to shout out this week. LaCou Cafe. It's a Haitian-run cafe over there on Utica, and you look it up by Park Place. I think you know what I mean. If you know the neighborhood, you know the neighborhood. If you know. LaCou, LAKOU cafe.
Oh, it's a small spot.
Little small spot.
Yeah. It's like Park Place. I think between Park and Sterling.
Yeah, support them. Hold on, I didn't got it up.
They got some really good food. Yeah,
right there. Support them. Also support Richie Wave, but support them. LaCou Cafe. Support them and tell them we sent you over here at the podcast.
So they can support us at the podcast.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They got the Haitian empanadas and you getting smoothies and all of that other kind of food. You know what I mean? The next show is May 1st.
May 1st is gonna be super lit. We're preparing your video, right?
We are premiering the video.
What like so what's this video about? What's this new video about? Like I know it's about what's going on, you know, police brutality.
It's ironically about what's going on in police brutality, but more importantly, it's about the rapport that police have with Black people in general. And when I was stopped on a Revel scooter, right now, I just tried to renew my life. I thought I paid everything because I just gave them like $550. But I was stopped on a Revel scooter. I was given 4 tickets, and then I was stopped. Yeah, I was stopped again, not too far from that date, and given another 4 tickets. Those tickets all together added up to 9 points on my license.
Wow.
And it's a Revel scooter. And at that time, the laws weren't even made on the scooter, or they were being adjusted. The contract had to be adjusted, all this other stuff. And these tickets are very high. But besides the tickets being high, my encounter with the police officers was just nasty. And sticky.
Yeah.
I just felt like even though I have to pay those tickets, damn, it sucks. But also a bit of my personal respect for myself dimmed down because I had to let this person out of nowhere come talk crazy to me. Like,
yeah. And
then give me a ticket. It's like, all right, you could give me a ticket.
But you ain't have to talk right. Yo, I completely feel that. Like recently, you know, some people know the story, some people don't, and I'm still like kind of going through the legal stuff of it. But last year, I was living in a situation and being harassed by my roommate, like who was just inherently racist, and it was a whole thing. Like one night, she brought.
Let's keep it light. Let's keep the story.
But that's what I'm going right. She like literally brought the cops to my house, and I just got the body cam footage from it. So I was watching it, and just like the thing that got me, it wasn't even watching myself. It wasn't like the trauma of the situation. It was watching the police, how they chose to interact and how like they just were automatically dismissive. They were automatically assumptive. They were automatically like at one point, one of the cops, right before I opened my bedroom door, the cops had his hand on his gun, like one hand on the taser and one hand on the gun, like ready. Yeah, like for what? Like
Yeah.
for what? Like why is this? You know what I'm saying? Why are we interacted with in this like way where we're automatically the trespasser or we're automatically a criminal? You know what I'm saying? Even if we call you, you know what I mean? We are still like looked at as suspects.
Yeah.
Through the whole thing. So it's like, yeah, this is
when I call in, do I have to be like, hey, just so you know, I'm black. So when you get here, I'm the black one.
I'm the black guy. Don't shoot me.
Like, you know what I mean? That's a lot of information to give when you're in a place of duress. Like, you know what I mean? That's a lot of ways that you have to think. So with all of that being said, I had a concept where I was like, you know, they over police in the neighborhood. And as always, I make spiritual jingles right now. I used to make anthemic hypnosis. If you listen to my previous records before the last 2 years, I was making anthemic hypnosis. That was my theme of my music. But now I'm making spiritual jingles, things that I think will uplift us. Things that I think will uplift us, but at the same time, they're short and snappy and able to be repetitive and enjoyed. So I had repeated the words, they over police in the black neighborhood. I had put out a call to different rappers. I was just like, anybody out there want to throw a verse on this? And some people threw some raps on it that I just didn't feel like either didn't fit, or the producer of the record was like, these are the best verses. And that showcased not only their talent, but your talent as well, and also sounds good together.
Right.
So those last verses were chosen was Kerry Blue and Hero, aka The Don.
All right.
But I didn't realize how important the song really is, and how much of a zeitgeist it is, and how pertinent it is to the time. Because I was just talking about getting tickets and having been talking to like I'm a kid when I'm getting tickets, but this was like.
But yeah,
I guess somewhere in the back of my mind, I remember crying. I was in a restaurant with Dukes, and we were at a Spanish restaurant. They played Eric Garner's Murder, basically, on New York One.
Wow.
We were eating, and they kept showing, and I was just like, yo, no one cares, yo. And I just started fucking crying. I was like, no one cares that I'm here at a restaurant watching this, you know?
Right. No one cares.
Yeah, so it, maybe that was in the back of my mind when I was making the music, but more importantly, it was just like our general interaction with cops need to be chilled out, and it needs to be a respect level. And so that's where the music comes from, and that's what I linked up with my boy Lyndon McCrae, and I don't know if you guys notice now, I'm doing a lot of stuff in the vertical for not only Instagram, but just in general. So I think it's an interesting concept. So we shot everything in the vertical for this.
Okay.
So we're gonna show the video.
Nice.
All right. But I gotta go, yo. It's the podcast.
We are every Friday at 8-ish.
Yeah, at 8 to 9-ish. You were here at 8-ish.
Whatever.
All right. Well, peace, y'all.
Peace, bro.
Next. Oh, no, tomorrow. We got a special guest tomorrow, Yasir Lester, 2 p.m. Peace. Okay. I think that works, right? Yeah.